Morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar and residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is May 5th, 2026. That is more than 6 years and a month of Torah every single weekday morning, finding each other from all over the world just to say hello and good morning and to learn some Torah. So let's use here Deborah and Jonathan, Kate and Tara. Rabbi Cantor, nice to see you. Kate, Scott, Boker Tov, good to see all of you. Hi, Michelle. Hope that you are doing well. Let's use here on Facebook too, so we can say goodbye to, say hello to a few friends here. Arlene and Karen, Boker Tov. John, nice to see you. Okay. In a second, we're going to sing a bracha, learn some Torah. George and Dale, Haley and Jack, Boker Tov, Andrew and Amy, nice to see you. All right, Amy and Patricia, Dave, and my love. Hi, Neshama. Nice to see you. Rosa and Arlene, Boker Tov. All right. Boker Tov, Boker Tov. You can tell it's that kind of morning because it's the only thing coming to my mind. Let's see how the Torah goes this morning. Everybody, good morning. And as Karen just wrote, Safta Stieber wrote, Chag Sameach, it is Lag BaOmer. Let's teach some Torah today. First, I waited for you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shekol niyeh bidvaro. Okay, that'll help. It's broadcast 1551. Thanks, Penny. Lag BaOmer is a really fascinating day. For those who aren't familiar, Lag is actually an abbreviation of Lamed Gimel, which means 33. Today is the 33rd day of the Omer. It's a remarkable moment in the 49 days that we count between the second night of Passover until Shavuot. We journey from liberation to revelation, and that journey takes a long time. Now, the Omer itself in the Torah counts the barley harvest, and it's a seasonal agricultural counting. But there is a very big difference between the way it is understood in the Torah and the way that we observe it today. Even Jews who are farmers today aren't necessarily keeping Omer, because the counting of the barley harvest is really only in the land of Israel, and even in Israel, Omer, which means a measure of barley, is not actually the law of the land. It more falls into the realm of custom now. We count each night towards 49. Kabbalistically speaking, in mystical thought, each week has a certain sphera, a certain realm of God's energy, and each day within that week also carries energy. Some weeks are full of splendor, and some are full of chesed, of love. Some are gvura, restraint. Some are netzach, endurance. Every day has a different permutation of that divine flow. And of course, it's also about character development for us. I want to share a number of different thoughts, but specific to this 33rd day of the Omer. For many people, from the beginning of the counting until today, a Jewish wedding will not happen. For some, between the beginning of the Omer and today, at least for men, some don't trim their beards or shave. Some don't get haircuts. These customs are very hard to trace, but if you look for the original context, it says in the Talmud that on Lag BaOmer, the students of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying. And this seems to come out of nowhere. According to this teaching in the Talmud, 12,000 pairs of Rabbi Akiva students died in a plague that began with the beginning of the Omer until now. But if you really do your research, you find that that claim doesn't seem to line up with A, how many students he had, and B, any historic record in any other text of what this is. And the way that the Talmud says the day arrived was Palga de Omer, halfway through the Omer. But do the math with me. 49 days divided by 2 is not 33. And so no one's really sure what Lag BaOmer truly signifies. One beautiful tradition is that today is considered the Hilulah, the cosmic wedding of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the great mystic who, according to legend, wrote the Zohar. He didn't, but we believe, because the author of the Zohar purports to be him, that he's connected. No matter where you land on this very interesting history of the day, there is one historic significance to Lag BaOmer and Rabbi Akiva students. Because if you know your Jewish history, Rabbi Akiva believed that Bar Kokhba, who was a general after the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem in 70 CE, was the Messiah. That's why he named him Bar Kokhba, son of a star. What does this mean for us right now? It's a complicated question, because after all, if the mourning period where we didn't shave and didn't trim and didn't get a haircut and didn't do weddings is the previous part of the Omer, what does Lag BaOmer mean when it comes to that historic read? It means that this is the day where things get better. Lag BaOmer is where weddings happen, and bonfires happen, and singing happens, where Jews stop seeing the degradation of their sovereignty and start feeling alive. Now, please God, you didn't need this day to come to feel alive. But it is important for us to understand what this day signifies. As a child, and in Israel this was true too for others, we have moments on Lag BaOmer where you go and you have an outdoor festival, and there's a tradition of archery on Lag BaOmer. But realize what that means in the modern context. It means this is where we use our body. This is where we come back to ourselves. This is where Bar Kokhba's vision, not of triumphalism, but of successful self-defense, matters, and where Rabbi Akiva's vision, that actually we are aligned with destiny, a child of the stars. Here's where we take our turn as co-authoring our own destiny. Lag BaOmer is many things. It is the end of sadness, according to tradition. And I offer us this blessing because we could use it. A happy Lag BaOmer means to be Jews and stand proud and go exercise, literally, our bodies in the world, to be safe and secure and strong and proud. We've come through a lot, especially these last years. And one of the things we must do is recognize that the holidays are all based on our connection to history, to our bodies, to the earth, to our place in the world, and to knowing that God shines also on us. I remember so deeply, it's not a Lag BaOmer memory, but it is a related one, asking a friend who's older than me how she felt in 1967 during the Six-Day War. She said, terribly nervous. It was not clear that we were going to make it. And that nervousness, I understand a little bit more than I used to. But then I said to her, how did it feel when we won? And if you're a student of the Six-Day War, you know that there were a lot of chances for it not to go well for us, and the success was deeply surprising, suddenly having all of Jerusalem once more. The power of this is also very interesting because she said, and she was young at the time, she said, I thought to myself, oh God, you do love us. And that feeling of being loved by God, not chosen over someone else, but deeply loved, is a great gift for us to consider. Because Rabbi Akiva's students perhaps should be understood, as many scholars suggest, as soldiers. 12,000 pairs of students, that sounds a little bit like a battalion. And they died during a certain period of time. We lost. Bar Kokhba's rebellion was put down in 135 CE. But Lag BaOmer is the day after that. Lag BaOmer, this day of being in the sun and enjoying having a body, being alive on this earth and doing good with the body we are blessed to have for one more day. And please God, one more day after that, and one more day after that. This is all not to be taken for granted. Lag BaOmer is where love lives once more. We get married this day. We remember mystics who got married on that day. We get our hair cut, which means we return to taking care of even our physical appearance. What a gift it is to have this on our calendar, even if very few people understand what Lag BaOmer is and isn't. We have work to do. We have work to do, but also we have joy to feel. So if you haven't gone for a walk recently, go for a walk. If you need to do some exercise, do that. I'm working on that myself. It is a good way of appreciating what God has given us, to establish our feet firmly on the ground and to keep on walking. So happy Lag BaOmer, everyone. May it be beautiful for you, for us, for Am Yisrael, and maybe even because we are here to do good for the world. Let's send our hearts to the east and sing. Kol hod balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avda tikvateinu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון Yerushalayim. Am Yisrael Chai. Happy Lag BaOmer. See you tomorrow.